Hello everyone. So today I'm going to solve the doubts from exercise 2C, numericals of exercise 2C. So I've marked all the doubts and I feel that some of the doubts they are not very difficult questions, but still I'm going to give you hints on those and I'm going to solve the remaining ones. So the first doubt which we are going to take is question number 3. Question number 3. Okay. Let's take question number 3. A vehicle is accelerating on a straight road. As you can see, the question number 3 is over here. A vehicle is accelerating on a straight road. Its velocity at any instant is 30 kilometer per hour. Okay, so we'll take it as initial velocity, 30 kilometer per hour. After 2 seconds, it is 33.6 kilometer per hour. And after further 2 seconds, it is 37.2 kilometer per hour. So we can take it as U1, then U2 is 33.6 kilometer per hour, and after further 2 seconds, that is U3, it is 37.2 kilometer per hour. Now you must be wondering that why have I taken U1, U2, U3? Why not U1, V, V1, V2 or something UV, V1 or something like that? Yeah, so that doesn't matter here because there are 3 different velocities given at a time interval of 2 seconds each. So you can take the symbols of velocity as per your convenience or wish. Find the acceleration of vehicle in meter per second square, and is the acceleration uniform? So that is the question. We have to find the acceleration in meter per second square. Now u1 to u2, the change happens within the time interval of 2 seconds. Let us find the acceleration. Now see, first let us find the change in velocity. Change in velocity. I'll tell you why I'm finding change in velocity. Change in velocity will be u2 minus u1. That is 33.6 minus 30. That is 3.6 kilometer per hour. Okay, now this change in velocity, I'm going to convert into meter per second. So to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, I must multiply it by 5 by 18. So 3.6 multiplied by 5 by 18 will give me, so this will be 0.2, and 5 multiplied by 0.2, right? Will be 1 meter per second square, if I'm correct here. Okay, so this is the change in velocity, not 1 meter per second square, 1 meter per second. 1 meter per second. Okay, now what is acceleration? So this is case 1 we are talking about. Okay, case 1 is the change of velocity from u1 to u2. Now what is the acceleration? Acceleration is change in velocity upon time. General formula of acceleration is v minus u upon t. So here I am taking change in velocity upon time. Doesn't make any difference. Okay, change in velocity is 1 and time is 2. So acceleration is 0.5 meter per second square. So I got the acceleration in case 1. Let's find the acceleration in case 2. Case 2. What is the change in velocity? Change in velocity is u3 minus u2, which is 37.2 minus 33.6. And if you subtract this, you will get 3.6. 33.6 plus 3.6 will be 37.2 kilometer per hour. I will convert this into meter per second. Again, I have done the same thing earlier, so I can write 1 meter per second. And now I'll find the acceleration. So this is the acceleration in first case. Now I'm finding the acceleration in case 2, which is change in velocity upon time. Change in velocity is 1, time is 2, 0.5 meter per second square. Right? So that's the acceleration in both the cases. Let's see whether this acceleration is same or not. So yes, it is same, and it is 0.5 meter per second square according to the question. So whoever had doubt in this particular question, I hope they have understood that how to simplify this question. I can understand that you saw the velocities, three velocities, and that might have confused you at the first place. And then also the velocities were in kilometer per hour and acceleration was asked in meter per second square. That also could be the one more reason for confusion. But I simplified by finding the change in velocity first in kilometer per hour and then converting it into meter per second by multiplying it by 5 by 18. And then the change in velocity I divided with the time interval. The time interval in the first case was 2 seconds, and in the second case also the time interval was 2 seconds. So I used the same time interval in both the cases, and I found the acceleration, which came out to be 0.5 meter per second square in both the cases. Right? So I hope this is clear now. Let's select this and minimize this. So I've got this amazing tool, you can say a very nice software here, which is so useful for me that everything, whatever I'm scribbling, whatever I'm doing, is basically saved. The whole question is saved. Look at this guy. The whole solution can be saved for future, and it becomes so simple for me to solve doubts in future. And I regret that I did not do this earlier, but this lockdown has given me a new insight and how to make my work easier, because the work is like piling up like anything, and I'm not sure that this much effort is taken by any other teacher, which is basically, I'm taking. Seventh question, the next doubt. A train travels with a speed of 60 kilometer per hour from station A to B. So first case is from station A to B. The speed of the train is 60 kilometer per hour, and then comes back with a speed of 80 kilometer per hour from station B to station A. Station B to station A, it comes back. So this is V1, this is V2. It comes back with 80 kilometer per hour. So these kind of questions we have solved in first part, speed and velocity wala part. Okay, find the average speed and average velocity of the train. So in this question, I'm again solving for all of you, whoever has doubt in this. In this question, let the distance from A to B be x kilometer. Let the distance from A to B be x kilometer. So what we know is, we know the speed, we know the distance also, s1. Remember, the symbol for distance is s. Okay, the symbol for speed or velocity is v. Some students have seen that they wrote the symbol of speed, symbol of symbol of speed as s, and that was really horrible. after teaching so much. To see that was really disappointing, but anyways, it's always never too late to learn. Okay, so the first distance from A to B is x kilometer. The second distance S2 from B to A is also x kilometer. We can find the time t1. Now we know that speed is equal to distance upon time. So time is equal to distance upon speed, right? So what is the time 1? Time 1 is x by 60 hours. Similarly, what is the time 2? S2 by V2, which is x by 80 hours. So we can find the total time. Total time is equal to x by 60 plus x by 80, and this will be, let's take the LCM. It is 240, 64s are 83s are, so 4x plus 3x by 240, which is 7x by 240 hours. This is the total time. Now we have to find the average speed. Now average speed is equal to total distance upon total time. Total distance is x plus x, 2x, upon total time is 7x by 240, which is 2x. See, x will cut, so there is no point of writing x all over again. We can simply write it as 2 into 240 divided by 7, right? And we can calculate this. So 240 multiplied by 2 divided by 7 is 68.57. 68.57. I hope that is the answer. Kilometer per hour. That is the average speed. What is the average velocity? Average velocity is total displacement upon total time. Now, since the total displacement is 0, because the train is going from A to B and coming back from B to A, coming back to its initial position, so there is no displacement. So displacement is 0. 0 upon anything is 0. So average velocity is 0 kilometer per hour. Let's check the answer. 68.57 and 0. So we have done, I'm again repeating, we have done these kind of questions in part 1. Many of the similar kind of question. Now this question is here in part 3. You must be wondering, there is no use of equations of motion. Yes, there is absolutely no use of equation of motion over here. Still it is given here because this is kind of a miscellaneous exercise where you have to use the concept, the whole concept of motion, not only equations of motion but everything. Correct? Let's go to the next question. The next question is the 8th question. Okay, a train is moving with a velocity of 90 kilometer per hour. It is brought to stop by applying brakes. Okay, a train is moving, they are saying. So initial velocity is 90 kilometer per hour. I would like to convert this initial velocity into meter per second. Why? Because they are saying it is brought to stop by applying brakes, which produces a retardation of 0.5 meter per second square. Now retardation is in meter per second square. So definitely the velocities should be in meter per second. So let's convert it by multiplying into 5 by 18, right? 18 5s are 90. So 25 meter per second was the initial velocity. it is brought to rest means final velocity is 0 meter per second, and the retardation, that is acceleration, is minus 0.5 meter per second square. Always remember, when in the place of you retardation you write acceleration, you have to put minus sign if it is not there. So this is the case. Okay, this is what is going on. Find the velocity after 10 seconds and the time taken by the train to come to rest. Okay, let's first find the velocity after 10 seconds. So case 1, time is equal to 10 seconds. So see, we can use the first equation of motion. V is equal to u plus at. Why did I select this equation of motion? Because we have we have to find v. We have the time, we have the acceleration, we have the initial velocity. So this equation has all the parameters which are required for this particular question. Correct? So yeah, many students, they might not be getting this answer because they did not convert from kilometer per hour to meter per second. So that's one very silly mistake. Anyways, learning from it. 25 plus acceleration is minus 0.5 multiplied by time, which is 10. So 25 plus this will be minus 5. So final velocity will be 20 meter per second. The velocity after 10 seconds will be 20 meter per second. And they have also asked the time taken by the train to come to rest. So we have to find the time, and again we can use the same relation, v is equal to u plus at, first equation of motion, where final velocity is 0 because it has been clearly asked in the question the time taken by the train to come to rest. Come to rest मतलब final velocity 0 ही होगा. ठीक है? So 0 is equal to u, which is 25, plus a, which is minus 0.5, multiplied by t, which is to be found out, right? So this 25 will come this side. Minus 25 is equal to minus 0.5 t. Minus minus will cut. 25 upon 0.5 is equal to t. So t is equal to 250 by 5, which is I'm sorry, 5 5s are 25 and 0 50 seconds. It will take 50 seconds for the train to come to rest. Okay, so it is mandatory for you to write the final statement, the final answer in a statement. Okay, like the time taken for the train to come to rest is 50 seconds, and here the velocity of the train after 10 seconds will be 20 meter per second, right? So that is your perfect answer. Perfect over here. And we are done with question number 8. Let's go to question number 9. Let's make some space here. Cool. So question number 9. A car travels a distance of 100 meters with constant acceleration and average velocity of 20 meter per second. Oh, so they are saying there is a constant acceleration and average velocity is also given. Okay, let's write it. And acceleration is, this is v average, constant velocity. Acceleration is not given. The final velocity acquired by the car is 25 meter per second. Okay, final velocity 25 meter per second. Find the initial velocity and the acceleration of the car. Okay, cool. Hmm. So we have been given average velocity and we have to find the initial velocity. Okay. See, there is one formula which I would like to try first because I don't know whether I'll get the correct answer or not, but I think we should get correct answer with this formula. So there was one formula of average velocity. In accelerated motion, we used to use this formula, not total displacement upon total time, but we used to use this formula u plus v by 2. And let's see if this works or not. So average velocity is 20, u is unknown, v is 25, and here is 2. So 22s are 40 is equal to u plus 25. So 40 minus 25 is equal to u, and therefore u is equal to 15 meter per second. Absolutely correct. So this formula works only in the case of accelerated motion. In case of accelerated motion, the formula for average velocity is not total displacement upon total time. It is initial velocity plus final velocity upon 2. That is average velocity. Also, if you find total displacement upon total time, you will get the same answer. But you can use this easy formula to find the missing velocity, right? Next, you have to find the acceleration of the car. See, you know u now, initial velocity, final velocity, displacement also you know. You can find the acceleration. So which is the question which is to be asked here is which equation of motion will be valid here? कौन सा equation of motion हम use करके इसको solve कर सकते हैं? So if you want to know which equation of motion you must use here, यू हैव टू रिमेंबर कि एस ए यू और वी को कनेक्ट करने वाला कौन सा इक्वेशन है? वी स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू यू स्क्वायर प्लस 2as. थर्ड इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन. वी स्क्वायर इज 25 स्क्वायर, यू स्क्वायर इज 15 स्क्वायर प्लस 2 multiplied by a multiplied by s is 100. So 25 square is 625 is equal to 15 square is 225 plus 200a. So 625 minus 225 is equal to 200a. 625 minus 225 is 400 divided by 200 is equal to a. Therefore acceleration is 2 meter per second square. That's the value of acceleration, which is absolutely correct. ठीक है. तो बहुत बच्चों को एक आदत होती है कि वो फाइनल आंसर पहले देखते हैं और फिर कैलकुलेशन करते हैं. फाइनल आंसर से स्टक रहते हो. सो आई वांट टू टेल यू कि फाइनल आंसर को छोड़ दो 2 मिनट के लिए. पहले ये सोचो कि कौन सा फॉर्मूला अप्लाई होगा, वेदर योर मेथड इज करेक्ट और नॉट, वेदर योर कैलकुलेशन इज करेक्ट और नॉट, एंड देन लुक एट द फाइनल आंसर. Doesn't matter what the final answer is till you do the question properly, right? So I hope you understand this now. All the doubts are cleared from question number 9 up to question number 9. Let's go ahead. Okay. Let's start with question number 11. So many students, they told me they did not even try after question number 11. Many students, they told me 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all are doubts. And I did not see any attempt. So that was a sad part, but it's okay. My job is to clear your doubts and I will do it. I will solve all the questions from 11 to 15. Even if you have got it, I recommend that you look at the solution and you can check whether you have done with the proper method or not. Many times you get an answer but your method is absolutely wrong, so this will help you to judge your method. And if you are adopting a wrong method, if your method or steps are not correct, then you can change it. Look at my solution and learn. A body moves from rest with a uniform acceleration and travels 270 meter in 3 seconds. Okay. A body moves from rest. That is initial velocity. Initial velocity is 0 meter per second. With uniform acceleration, what is the acceleration is not given, and travels 270 meter. Displacement is 270 meter in 3 seconds. Time is 3 seconds. Find the velocity of the body at 10 seconds after start. Okay, so they are asking you to find the velocity after 10 seconds. They are asking you to find the velocity after 10 seconds. So I can understand that some students got confused looking at this 2 times. Why have they given 2 times? I can understand that. See, they have given 2 times because they first want you to find the acceleration and use that acceleration to find the final velocity after 10 seconds. So for finding acceleration, you don't have to take time as 10 seconds. You have to take this time because we know the distance traveled in 3 seconds and we know the initial velocity. So which formula will you use to find the acceleration? Which is the equation of motion which is connecting u, a, s and t? Second equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square. What is s? 270 meter. What is u? 0. What is t? 3 plus half multiplied by a, which we don't know, multiplied by t square, which is basically 3 square. So 270 is equal to 9a by 2, right? 3 square 9 by into a by 2. 0 into 3 will become 0. So acceleration will be 270 multiplied by 2 divided by 9. 9 3s are 27. There is a 0 here. So acceleration is 60 meter per second square. That is the acceleration. Right? Now we can find the velocity after 10 seconds because we know the time, which is 10 seconds, we know the acceleration, we know the initial velocity, and we have to find the final velocity. So which equation? This is the first part, and I'm now going to solve the second part. Which equation of motion I'm going to use here? So v is equal to u plus at, because I have to find v. I know u, I know a, and I know t. So v is equal to u is 0 plus a is 60 multiplied by t is 10. So v is equal to 600 meter per second. Absolutely correct. Okay. So question number 11th is also done. Let's bank it. Okay, next question which we are going to do is question number 12. See, now the difficulty level is slowly increasing, but be with me here. Right, I've solved some numericals for you in the video, also earlier video where of equation of numericals of equation of motion wala part. I don't know how much you understood that video, or but this is your last chance, right? I'm not going to make any more videos on the numericals of linear equation, equations of motion, and this is the last video which I'm making because I feel that I'm doing repeated questions, and all the variety of questions will be covered after solving these doubts. So you have an option of watching this video over and over again and trying to understand, but you will be faced with different kinds of questions in future also. which I wish that you should be able to solve yourself, because until and unless you solve yourself, you will never get that confidence. Please understand my point of view. If you are always relying on me to solve your doubts, that means your problem solving ability is not growing, and that's not a good sign. So it's good that it's my responsibility and I'm helping you out, but then my help will be limited. That you have to understand. It's not that I'm not able to help you. I'm definitely able to help you, and I want to help you, but I don't want to give you ready-made solutions like how I'm giving you right now. I have given you enough knowledge and skills to take on challenges. So if you're not able to take on challenges even now, then it is a very concernable thought that you are not able to take on the numericals and not able to get the answers, not able to understand. Because if you're not able to understand the numericals now, after such an elaborate uh, exhibition of solving numericals, then it is really you should think about how you're going to do it in future. So it's not that you are not made for doing mathematics or something like that. It is just in your mind. So you need to your brain has been washed by your own self. So you need to come out of that state and try to understand कि न्यूमेरिकल में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कोई भी न्यूमेरिकल हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं जो मैं तुम्हें दिखा रहा हूँ करके। ठीक है। सो अपना एटीट्यूड आप अगर चेंज करोगे ना टूवर्ड्स मैथमेटिक्स इन फिजिक्स एंड टूवर्ड्स मैथमेटिक्स इन पर्टिकुलर, तब जाके यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व न्यूमेरिकल्स। अगर आपने अपने माइंड में एक ये एक थॉट डाल दिया है कि नहीं, मैथ्स तो मुझे अच्छा ही नहीं लगता, आई हेट मैथ्स और मैं कभी मैथ्स नहीं कर पाऊंगा और आई एम वीक इन मैथ्स, ये सारे नेगेटिव थॉट्स को आपको निकालना पड़ेगा। ये बात है। और कांस्टेंट एफर्ट बहुत ज़रूरी है। एक बार नहीं आया तो छोड़ना, ये बहुत ही एक कावर्डली एक्ट है। क्वेश्चन देख के छोड़ देना, एक बार नहीं आया तो छोड़ देना, ये कावर्डली एक्ट है। This is not a sign of a brave person. That's not how courageous people are. Courageous people, they are at it always. They just get after it and they try to get it somehow. ठीक है। तो show some symptoms of signs of courageous person rather than a coward person. It's very easy to give up, quit, but it is not a good sign, because that's not going to get you anywhere in life. Let's go ahead. Question number 12. आई होप तुम्हें मेरा ये जो लेक्चर है बीच बीच में बोरिंग नहीं लगता, और लगता भी है तो मुझे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, क्योंकि मुझे मेरा काम करना है। योर पेरेंट्स एक्सपेक्ट मी टू मोटिवेट यू एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई एम डूइंग। ये मेरे सबसे जेन्युइन थॉट्स है मोटिवेशन के तुम्हारे लिए। इससे ज़्यादा मोटिवेट मैं नहीं कर सकता तुम्हें, राइट? अगर तुम इसे एक्सेप्ट करके तुम्हें अपने अंदर कोई चेंज लाना है, यू आर वेलकम टू डू दैट। बट अगर तुम्हें ये बोरिंग लग रहा है तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला। ठीक है, फिर आप मुझे फंडिंग कर रहे हो, बैनियन ट्री को आप फंडिंग दे रहे हो, और हम आई वेलकम ऑल द फंडिंग्स। बहुत सारे बच्चे बैनियन ट्री में आके पढ़ाई नहीं करते, फीस पूरा भरते हैं, पढ़ाई नहीं करते, अपने माँ बाप का पैसा वेस्ट करते हैं। लेकिन वो वेस्ट तुम्हारे लिए, मेरे लिए वेस्ट नहीं है। मेरे लिए तो मेरा इंस्टीट्यूट चलाने के लिए वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फंड है। तो तुम मुझे फंडिंग करते हो, या फिर तुम अपने हर एक दिए हुए फीस का यूटिलाइजेशन करते हो, वो तुम्हारे हाथ में। वेदर यू वांट टू फंड माय इंस्टीट्यूशन और वेदर यू वांट टू यूटिलाइज द फीस पेड बाय यू टू माय इंस्टीट्यूशन, इट इज इन योर हैंड। ठीक है। बहुत सारे बच्चे फंडिंग करने के लिए आते हैं, और मुझे नहीं, दुनिया के सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स और स्कूलों को फंडिंग हो रही है। क्यों? क्योंकि स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, उनको लगता है ये सब क्या फायदा है। ठीक है, सोच लो आप लोग कैसे करना है लाइफ में। A body moving with constant acceleration travels the distances 3 meter and 8 meter respectively in 1 and 2 seconds. Oh, ब्यूटिफुल यार. तो एक्सेलरेशन कांस्टेंट है, कितना है हमें नहीं पता. 3 मीटर डिस्टेंस मूव करता है बॉडी 1 सेकेंड में, और 8 मीटर डिस्टेंस मूव करता है 2 सेकेंड्स में. ये रियली जेन्युइनली डाउट है. 12th क्वेश्चन जिसको भी डाउट आया है, मैं मानता हूं कि ये है डाउट, अच्छा डाउट. कैलकुलेट द इनिशियल वेलोसिटी and the acceleration of the body. Calculate the initial velocity and the acceleration of the body. अब हमें दो केसेस दिए हैं यहां पे. पहला डिस्प्लेसमेंट और उसका टाइम वाला केस, और दूसरा डिस्प्लेसमेंट और उसका टाइम वाला केस. और दो चीजें मिसिंग है, ए और यू. तो व्हाट वी कैन डू इज, हम लोग एक इक्वेशन बना सकते हैं. बट ऐसा कौन सा इक्वेशन है जो एस, टी, ए और यू को कनेक्ट करता है? दैट इज द सेकेंड इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन. एस इज इक्वल टू यू टी प्लस हाफ ए टी स्क्वायर. तो इन बोथ द केसेस वी कैन मेक दिस इक्वेशन एंड सी क्या मिलता है हमको. सो लेट अस अप्लाई द सेकेंड इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन इन द फर्स्ट केस. एस इज इक्वल टू यू टी प्लस हाफ ए टी स्क्वायर. यहाँ पे एस 1 होगा, यू तो यू ही रहेगा, टी 1 होगा, ए ही रहेगा, टी 1 स्क्वायर हो जाएगा. तो 3 इज इक्वल टू यू एज इट इज रहेगा. टी 1 विल बी 1 सेकेंड प्लस हाफ मल्टीप्लाइड बाय ए मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1 स्क्वायर. ठीक है, इसको सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं. 3 इज इक्वल टू यू प्लस ए बाय 2. ये एक इक्वेशन मिला हमें यू और ए के टर्म्स में. कोई बात नहीं, a बाई 2 को हम लोग सिंप्लीफाई कर सकते हैं बाई टेकिंग एलसीएम. 1 और 2 का एलसीएम 2 होगा, एंड दिस विल बिकम 3 इज इक्वल टू 2u प्लस ए द होल अपॉन 2. ये साइड शिफ्ट हो जाएगा. सो 2u प्लस ए इज इक्वल टू 6. इक्वेशन नंबर 1. सो दिस इज, तुम्हें एक मैथ्स में एक चैप्टर है साइमल्टेनियस लीनियर इक्वेशन. देखो, मैथ्स और फिजिक्स को तुम कुछ भी करो, वो दोनों इतने गहरे दोस्त हैं, इतने गहरे कि तुम उनकी दोस्ती नहीं तोड़ सकते. बहुत सारे बच्चे मैथ्स छोड़ देते हैं, लेकिन फिजिक्स उनका पीछा नहीं छोड़ता. अगर तुम्हें मैथ्स से पूरा पीछा छुड़ाना है तो फिजिक्स भी छोड़ दो, मतलब साइंस भी छोड़ दो, क्योंकि फिजिक्स में तो मैथ्स आएगा ही आएगा. फिजिक्स में तो मैथ्स आएगा ही आएगा. तो इस इक्वेशन को कैसे सॉल्व करोगे बिना मैथमेटिक्स के? मैथ्स का जो चैप्टर नंबर 6 है साइमल्टेनियस लीनियर इक्वेशन, उसको तो समझना ही पड़ेगा इसको सॉल्व करने के लिए. वो मैं तुम्हें समझाता हूँ कैसे करना है, बट यू कैन नॉट एस्केप. दैट्स व्हाट आई मेंट टू से. और ये जो सेकंड तुम्हारा इंफॉर्मेशन है, उससे हम लोग और एक बार ये वाला इक्वेशन यूज करेंगे. एस इज इक्वल टू यू टी प्लस हाफ ए टी स्क्वेयर, जिसमें S2 T2 और T2 यहाँ पे ले लेंगे. S2 इज 8 इज इक्वल टू U की जगह U रखेंगे, इंटू T2 की जगह 2 प्लस हाफ इंटू A इंटू 2 स्क्वेयर. ठीक है, तो 8 इज इक्वल टू 2U प्लस ये 2 और ये स्क्वायर वाला कट जाएगा, 2A. 2 कॉमन निकलेगा. 8 बाई 2 इज इक्वल टू u प्लस a, एंड देयरफॉर u प्लस a इज इक्वल टू 4. इक्वेशन नंबर 2. अब मुझे पता है u प्लस a 4 है, तो इससे मैं क्या करूंगा पता है, मैं u की वैल्यू निकाल लूंगा. u की वैल्यू क्या है? u की वैल्यू है 4 माइनस a. u की वैल्यू क्या है? 4 माइनस a. और ये 4 माइनस a को मैं सब्सटीट्यूट करूंगा फर्स्ट इक्वेशन में. यहां पे मैं लिखता हूं सब्सटीट्यूटिंग u इज इक्वल टू 4 माइनस ए इन इक्वेशन 1। इसको बोलते हैं मेथड ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूशन, जो तुम मैथ्स में पढ़ने वाले हो। मेथड ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूशन। तो मैंने u की वैल्यू ले ली और इक्वेशन 1 में डाली। इक्वेशन 1 ये रहा, 2u ब्रैकेट में लिखता हूं, u की वैल्यू 4 माइनस ए प्लस ए is equal to 6. So in equation 1, I substituted the value of u and rewrote it all over again. 2 4s are 8 minus 2a plus a is equal to 6. So 8 minus a is equal to 6. So 8 minus 6 is equal to a, and therefore a is equal to 2 meter per second square. Acceleration मिल गया मुझे u भी ढूंढना है, तो मैं a की वैल्यू इक्वेशन 2 में डालता हूं, substituting a is equal to 2 in equation 1, equation 2। तो u प्लस a की वैल्यू है 2 is equal to 4। सो u कितना हो जाएगा, 4 minus 2। So u will be 2 meter per second. This is the initial velocity. So initial velocity and acceleration both are 2, but initial velocity is 2 meter per second and acceleration is 2 meter per second square. This is how you solve question number 12. Let's check the answer. 2 meter per second, 2 meter per second square, absolutely correct. ठीक है, तो ये थोड़ा अलग टाइप का क्वेश्चन था, ठीक है, जो हमने यहाँ पे सॉल्व किया है। सो ये जेन्यून डाउट था, ये मैं मानता हूँ ये वाला क्वेश्चन अभी तक का सबसे जेन्यून डाउट हो सकता है, ठीक है, बट अटेम्प्ट जरूरी है। जिसने बिना अटेम्प्ट किए छोड़ दिया है ये, ठीक है, उसके लिए मैं जेन्यून डाउट नहीं मानता हूँ। अटेम्प्ट बहुत जरूरी है। हाँ, और जिसने ये सॉल्व कर लिया है उसका फ्यूचर ब्राइट है, ऐसा मैं बोल सकता हूँ, क्योंकि उसके पास वो एटीट्यूड है कि कैसे हम चैलेंज को फेस करें, जो सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी एटीट्यूड। सो आई एम नॉट ग्लोरीफाइंग दोज स्टूडेंट्स जो लोग सारे क्वेश्चंस को नेल करते हैं। आई एम, यस, देर इज अ नीड टू ग्लोरीफाई, बिकॉज यार वो लोग इतना हार्डवर्क दे आर पुटिंग इन, सो देर इज अ नीड यार, उनको कुछ तो रिकॉग्निशन मिलना ही चाहिए। 13th क्वेश्चन है अपना नेक्स्ट डाउट, लेट्स चेक इट। Okay, the next question is question number 13. A car travels with uniform velocity of 25 meter per second for 5 seconds. Okay, so uniform velocity without any acceleration is 25 meter per second, and the time for which the velocity is maintained at 25 meter per second is 5 seconds. The brakes are then applied. So after 5 seconds, the brakes are applied and the car is uniformly retarded. After 5 seconds, the brakes are applied and the car is uniformly retarded and comes to rest in further 10 seconds. So for 5 seconds, the car keeps on going with 25 meter per second velocity. But after 5 seconds, the brakes are applied, right? And the car comes to rest. So the final velocity is 0 meter per second, and that happens after 10 seconds of application of brakes. Find the distance which the car travels before the brakes are applied. Now see the first one. Distance covered before brakes are applied. Distance covered before brakes are applied. See, distance is equal to speed into time, right? Speed is equal to distance upon time, and distance is equal to speed into time. So speed or the velocity is 25 meter per second. Speed is equal to velocity, which is 25 meter per second, multiplied by time, which is 5 seconds. So the distance, I'm sorry, the distance is 125 meters. The distance is 125 meters. So before application of brakes, the car already has covered a distance of 125 meters, which is correct. The retardation. Okay, now the brakes are applied. Now the car was moving. See, the car was moving with 25 meter per second speed and the brakes are applied. So the final velocity becomes 0 meter per second, and this all happens. The velocity reduces from 25 meter per second to 0 meter per second in 10 seconds. Find the distance which the car travels before the brakes are applied and the retardation. Okay, so the retardation is V minus U upon T, right? So V is 0, minus U is 25, and T is 10. So that is minus 2.5 meter per second square. Minus 2.5 meter per second square. Now that is your acceleration, therefore retardation, you can write it as 2.5 meter per second square. 2.5 meter per second square is the retardation. The distance traveled by the car after application of brakes. So that is the third thing they are asking. See, now forget about the first 5 seconds, forget about the distance traveled before application of brakes, but after application of brakes, what is happening? Initial velocity was 25 meter per second. The time for which the brakes are applied was 10 seconds. Final velocity was 0 meter per second. Acceleration is minus 2.5 meter per second square. These all things we know. We have to find the distance traveled by the car after the brakes are applied. So you can choose a reasonable relationship or equation of motion. And I think the second equation will do. S is equal to ut plus half at square. U is 25. T is 10 plus half into A is minus 2.5 into T square, which is 10 square. So 250 plus, now see, this 10 square becomes 100. 100 divided by 2 is 50 multiplied by minus 2.5. So 250 plus, this will become minus 125. 25 5 is so 125 meter. So after application of brakes also, the car moves a distance of 125 meter. So all the answers are perfect. So 13th question was not as difficult as some people, or maybe I thought it to be. It was not a challenging question as per me, but still we have the solution, and whoever had doubt in this, I think now the doubt has been cleared. So let's bank it. Okay, we're done with 13th question. Let's do question number 14. A spacecraft flying in a straight course with a velocity of 75 kilometer per second. Now, I can agree with some of the students who says that this question is little tough, little challenging, because the first thing which I notice here in this question is the speed of spacecraft is 75 kilometer per second. That is the velocity with which the spacecraft is flying, 75 kilometers per second. fires its rocket motors for 6 seconds. Okay. Initial velocity is 75 kilometer per second. Okay, we'll not convert this particular initial velocity into meter per second because it will become a very big number, 75,000 meter per second. We want to keep it in this, you can say small magnitude so that it's easy to calculate. Fires its rocket motors for 6 seconds. So for 6 seconds, it will undergo certain acceleration, which we don't. At the end of this time, the final velocity, at the end of 6 seconds, the final velocity is 120 kilometers per second. Okay. Find the spacecraft's average acceleration while the motors were firing. Very easy. So we can use V is equal to U plus AT, the first equation of motion. So 120 is equal to 75 plus A multiplied by 6. So 120 minus 75 is equal to 6A. Okay, 120 minus 75 is 45 divided by 6 is equal to, correct? So this is 25 plus, correct, 45 divided by 6. 3 2s are 3, 15s are. So acceleration which I'm getting over here is 7.5 kilometer per second square. 7.5 kilometer per second square. That's the first answer, absolutely correct. And the distance traveled by the spacecraft in first 10 seconds after the rocket motors were started. The motors having been in action for only 6 seconds. Okay. Cool. So what is being asked over here? Now the second question I feel is quite tricky. We have to understand, break this question up. So the spacecraft was flying with 75 kilometer per second speed, and then the rocket motors were fired for 6 seconds. For 6 seconds there will be an acceleration. This is the acceleration for that 6 seconds. And we can find the distance traveled in that 6 seconds, but they have asked the distance traveled in the first 10 seconds after the rocket motors were started. So what we have to do is we have to find the distance covered after the distance covered in 10 seconds after rocket motors were fired. The distance covered in 10 seconds after rocket motors were fired. Now see, the distance covered in 10 seconds after rocket motors were fired can be split into two distances. The first distance would be the distance covered in 6 seconds. That is the distance covered under the effect of the rocket motors, under the acceleration which is obtained by the rocket due to the effect of rocket motors. And 4 seconds, 6 seconds plus 4 seconds is basically 10 seconds. So first 6 seconds is under acceleration and the next 4 seconds will be under constant increased final velocity, which is 120 kilometer per second. So that's how we can find the distance covered in 10 seconds. Let's find it. So what is the distance covered in first 6 seconds? See, in first 6 seconds, we can say that what happened in first 6 seconds. We know that the velocity initially was 75 kilometer per second. It increased at the end of 6 seconds to 120 kilometer per second. Time interval was 6 seconds and acceleration during these 6 seconds is 7.5 kilometer per second square. So we know all these things and we have to find the distance, right? So if you these are all the 5 parameters of basically your equations of motion, but you had to use any 4 parameters in any one of the equations. So for finding S, I'm going to use S is equal to ut plus half at square. So S is equal to U, which is 75, multiplied by T, which is 6, plus half, multiplied by A is 7.5, multiplied by T square, which is 6 square. Let's see how it how the equation is formed. Okay, so displacement in the first 6 seconds we are finding 75 multiplied by 6, 450 plus half multiplied by 7.5 multiplied by 36. This will become 18. So 450 plus 7.5 multiplied by 18, which is 135, and the total is 585. So 585 meter distance is covered in first 6 seconds when the motors were fired, but we are concerned with first 10 seconds, so we have to calculate the distance covered in last 4 seconds. So see, after 6 seconds the motor were you can say shut off. Motor were in action only for 6 seconds, right? So after 6 seconds, what is happening? You can say the velocity after 6 seconds has become now 120 kilometer per second, and the time is 4 seconds. So we can directly find the displacement because there is no acceleration. Motors are not working. The rocket continues to move with a constant velocity. So displacement is equal to velocity into time, which is 120 into 4, which is 480. See, this was kilometer. So therefore, total displacement in 10 seconds is equal to 585 plus 480. 585 plus 480 will give you 1065 kilometer, which is correct. So that is how you find the total displacement after 10 seconds. So this was a good question. Good question in the second part. First part was pretty easy, but second part was very interesting. Nicely done. And we have got the correct answer. Let's focus on the last question. Okay, so we have got some space here. Let's start with the last question. Question number 15. A train starts from rest and accelerates uniformly at a rate of 2 meters per second square. For 10 seconds. It then maintains a constant speed for 200 seconds. Okay, so this is the first time interval where the train is under acceleration. A train starts from rest, so initial velocity is also important to be written over here. So this is the first case. It then maintains a constant speed for 200 seconds. Okay, so in case 2, the time 2 will be 200 seconds, for which the speed is constant. So we can find what is that speed. If we see, I'm not reading the question ahead, I'm just finding for what speed the train is maintaining constant speed for 200 seconds. What is that speed? So we can use these three parameters and we can find the final velocity at the end of 10 seconds. So v is equal to u plus at, that is 0 plus 2 multiplied by 10, that is 20 meter per second. So after 10 seconds period and acceleration of 2 meter per second squared and starting from rest, the velocity which is finally achieved by the uh, attained by the train is 20 meter per second. So here the velocity for 200 seconds will be 20 meter per second. Okay, now let's read the question. The brakes are then applied and the train is uniformly retarded. See, after 200 seconds, the brakes are applied. So this was the first stage. Okay, let me mention here. This is stage 1, where the train starts from rest, accelerates uniformly at the rate of 2 meter per second square for 10 seconds, and attains a final velocity of 20 meter per second. This is stage 2, where there is no acceleration. A constant velocity of 20 meter per second is maintained for 200 seconds, and then comes stage 3. Then comes stage 3, where the brakes are applied and the train is uniformly retarded and comes to rest in 50 seconds. So initial velocity for stage 3 will become 20 meter per second. Final velocity will become 0 meter per second because the brakes are applied and train is halted finally. And this all things happen in 50 seconds. So stage 3 lasts for 50 seconds. Right? Find the maximum velocity reached. So maximum velocity will be 20 meter per second. Definitely. We have got our first answer, 20 meter per second. Right? The retardation in the last 50 seconds. Now that is the second question. I'm, little bit amazed by how they are trying to confuse you. They are trying to ask you a question from the stage 3. It's okay. We can find the retardation. See, we know u, v, t, and we can find a. So v is equal to u plus at. So 0 is equal to 20 plus a multiplied by 50. So minus 20 is equal to 50a. So minus 20 by 50 is equal to a. So a is minus 0.4 meter per second square. A is minus 0.4 meter per second square. So the retardation, if they are asking, retardation in the last 50 seconds is retardation is equal to 0.4 meter per second square. This is the retardation in last 50 seconds. Let's check the answer. It's absolutely correct. Okay. The total distance traveled and the average velocity of the train. Very interesting. Total distance traveled. First, we'll focus on that. Now see, the train is covering distance in stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3 from its start till its ends. But we have to find the displacement in each stage separately. That is the uh, idea over here. Okay, so in the second stage, in the first stage, the displacement, the distance covered is s1, which is equal to, so we can use ut plus half at square, right? S1 is equal to u is 0, t is 10 plus half into a is 2 into t square is 10 square, that is 100. So 2 gets cancelled over here, this becomes 0, and distance traveled in the first stage is 100 meter. Let's find the distance traveled in the second stage, S2 is equal to V into T2, that is 20 into 200, that is 4000 meter, right? and we can find the finally we can find the distance traveled in the third stage. So we can use the formula S is equal to, let's use v square minus u square. Oh, hey, let's use the formula v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Why not? We can definitely use it. So 0 square minus 20 square is equal to 2 into acceleration is minus 0.4 multiplied by s. So this will be minus 400. See, minus sign will remain as it is, and 20 square will become 400. It is not minus 20 square. It is 0 minus 20 the whole square. Okay, so this will be minus 0.8 multiplied by s. This will come over here. First we'll cancel the minus sign. 400 divided by 0.8 is equal to s. So s is equal to 4000 divided by 8. 8 fives are 40, so this will be 500 meter. This is the distance traveled in the third stage, third section. Okay, S3 is 500. So what is the total distance traveled? Therefore, total distance traveled is equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3, which is 100 plus 4000 plus 500, which is 4600 meter or 4.6 kilometer. This is the total distance traveled. Let's check the answer. Absolutely correct. Okay, we have to find average velocity of the train also. Now you must be wondering कि इसमें average velocity कैसे हम निकालेंगे? Because average velocity के लिए एक फॉर्मूला मैंने बताया था अभी, जब accelerated motion होता है, accelerated motion में average velocity is u plus v by 2. Now if you see here, velocity, initial velocity is 0, then becomes 20, then final velocity reduces to 0. So if you see 0 plus 20 by 2, you get 10 meter per second. But is that the correct answer? Now in this case, I'm not so sure because the acceleration is not uniform. The acceleration is first 2 meter per second square, then it is minus 0.4 meter per second square, and in between it is 0. Acceleration is 0. So I cannot use that formula. So what I'm suggesting here, that if you want to find the average velocity, you can use the formula of total displacement upon total time. Total displacement upon total time. Now total displacement is 4600, which we have found, and total time, see, first we knew the time is 10 seconds, then 200 seconds, and then 50 seconds. So 200 plus 50, 250 plus 10, 260. 260, right? Yeah, it seems so. 200 plus 10 plus 50, 260. And we can simplify this, or we can find it in maybe in points. Let's see if our answer is correct or not. I'm not sure till now. 460 divided by 26. So it comes to 17.69 meter per second. Meter per second? It is meter per second, right? Yeah. 17.69 meter per second is the average velocity according to me. Initially, like if we considered that u plus v by 2 wala formula, we got 10. But I don't think that is the correct answer. I think this is the correct answer because we know the total displacement and we know the total time. So by dividing, we can get the average velocity. Let's check if our answer is correct. 17.69. Yes, it is. It is correct. Correct. So all the doubts from exercise 2C. See, there are how many numericals? There are 15, and out of 15 I cleared 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Out of 15 I cleared 9 doubts. That is more than 50%, around 60%, right? So that is I think sufficient doubt solving we have done from this particular exercise, and I feel that if you have any more doubts, it is up to you now. It is up to you how to solve those doubts, because in these doubt solving session which we are doing, we have been focusing on the method, the concept. Everything should be clear now in your mind, and if you still have doubts, uh, you have to take initiative and solve them yourself, right? No more spoon feeding will be done from my side. So I hope that this has helped you a lot, and I will see you now. We have to start with chemistry, because just now I got some message from some student from your batch that exams are in July. So I don't know how much syllabus I would be able to cover for your exam, but and even if your exams would happen or not, because that seems very unlikely right now, uh, due to this COVID situation. Like if this would have been a normal scenario, and अगर स्कूल एग्जाम ले रही है तो ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, वो तो हमें करना ही है. फिर भी बहुत ज़्यादा है सिलेबस उसके लिए भी, because 14 chapters in maths is too much. 4 chapters of physics and these heavy topics are just too much. Yeah, if school doesn't want to teach anything and just syllabus कैसे भी complete करके एग्जाम लेना है, तो उनके लिए easy है, मेरे लिए नहीं है. It is not ethical and not easy for me, right? So तुम्हारे लिए भी डिफिकल्ट है इफ यू वांट टू कवर एवरीथिंग 100%. हाँ, ऊपर ऊपर से पढ़ के एग्जाम देना है तो बहुत इजी है, बट कॉन्सेप्ट बिना क्लियर करके एग्जाम लेना, आई थिंक इट्स अ क्राइम विच स्कूल्स आर डूइंग राइट नाउ, योर स्कूल इज डूइंग राइट नाउ. सो बेसिकली हम लोग अब आगे बढ़ेंगे केमिस्ट्री पे. केमिस्ट्री के 2 चैप्टर करेंगे, फिर हम मैथ्स पे जाएंगे. मैथ्स के मे बी 4 चैप्टर्स और करेंगे हम लोग कवर, एंड देन अगेन विल कम बैक टू फिजिक्स एंड देन केमिस्ट्री एंड देन रिमेनिंग मैथ्स. अब ये सब जुलाई तक होता है कि नहीं होता, आई कैन नॉट प्रॉमिस यू, बिकॉज आई कैन नॉट कॉम्प्रोमाइज विद द क्वालिटी विच आई एम गिविंग यू इन टीचिंग, राइट? स्कूल कैन कॉम्प्रोमाइज, दे हैव टेकन इट फॉर ग्रांटेड, आई हैव नॉट. मेरे मेरे एथिक्स में नहीं आता है वो. सो इफ योर सिलेबस इज नॉट कवर्ड फॉर स्कूल एग्जाम्स, प्लीज डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. ठीक है, आपको जो भी सिलेबस आपका कवर हुआ है उसके ऊपर आप फोकस करो और गो ऑल गन्स ब्लेजिंग, एंड जितना अच्छा हो सकता है करके आ सकते हो. बट आई थिंक यू शुड फोकस ऑन योर कॉन्सेप्ट्स. यहाँ पे मेरे साथ जितने भी कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर हो रहे हैं, फील गुड अबाउट दैट रादर देन फीलिंग बैड अबाउट इतना सिलेबस रह गया. जो बच्चे बोलते हैं कि अरे बहुत सिलेबस बच गया है, मैं उनको पूछना चाहता हूँ ये सवाल कि जितना सिलेबस हुआ है वो तुम्हारा 100% हुआ है क्या? हुआ है? अगर वो 100% हुआ है और देन यू आर क्राइंग कि इतना बच गया, तो फिर ये क्वेश्चन पूछो अपने आप से कि क्या तुम्हारी कैपेसिटी है कि बाकी सब भी 100% इतने टाइम में तुम कर लोगे? सो आई थिंक स्टूडेंट्स को अपने आप को ये क्वेश्चन पूछने चाहिए रादर देन आस्किंग मी कि आपका सिलेबस क्यों नहीं हुआ टाइम पे. मेरे पास एक ही आंसर है, अगर क्वालिटी चाहिए आपको तो मुझे टाइम चाहिए. I will require time to finish the syllabus. If you require quality, if you require attention to details, attention to detail नहीं देना है, ऊपर ऊपर से फालतू काम करना है, वो मैं नहीं कर सकता. फिर आप कोई और टीचर भी ढूंढ सकते हो. ठीक है? All right. See you later. Bye. Enough of the lecture. Bye bye.